Hey everybody, welcome back. So, really important episode today. Here over the course of the last week or so, seen a couple really disturbing videos of some people that are claiming to be retake keepers and so forth, and everything that I've seen just, it doesn't border on animal abuse. It is. It's something I really think we need to address, and since I am not the kind that wants to go out and just slice and dice somebody because I see them doing something wrong, I'm going to try and make this as constructive as I can. I'm going to try and make this as instructional as I can. And when this is all said and done, the video's over with, just know that the offer is out there, that if you're one of these people, or if you're somebody who's doing something similar to that, you guys are free to contact me and we can work on getting better. Okay. My main concern here isn't slice and dicing somebody for something that they do wrong, and that's not what my goal is. My goal here is to improve the situation, and I think it's really important that we do this. So I'm going to try and keep it as pleasant and lighthearted as I can. It's going to be difficult because, quite frankly, what I saw pisses me off to no end. That being said, we're going to take a deep breath. We're going to go in. I'm going to get my 16-foot male retake out. I'm going to show you how I do it. I'm going to bring him outside and we're going to interact, and we're going to talk about some things today on Intrepid Exotics. Whether you're a lifelong keeper or just getting started, help us encourage responsible keeping, conservation, and public education in the interest of keeping our reptiles safe and healthy as we protect them for future generations. You're invited to spend time with us as we experience these awesome animals together on Intrepid Exotics. So I want you guys to take a look at a couple pictures really quick. And this particular person that put these out, they've got a YouTube channel that's got over 50,000 subscribers on it. That means 50,000 people thought enough of this person to hit the subscribe button on their channel and apparently value her opinion to some level. Okay, look at this. This is one example. It's an excerpt from a video where you can see he has got this snake holding it around the neck, just hanging there while he's doing something inside the enclosure. There is no world in which this is an acceptable way to manage your snakes. Period. Full stop. Okay, you can see another, it was even a thumbnail of the video where it shows him with his hand around the snake's neck holding it like that. I don't understand how somebody can get that far in the community where they get that many people on board and after all this time still somehow think this is an acceptable thing to do. It's not. If I ever walked up and seen anybody doing this to any one of their animals, I would do one of two things. I would either immediately take steps to be 100% sure that that person is 100% on board with learning how to do it right, learning how to fix their mistakes, and learning how to respect their animals, or alternatively, I would start taking every measure I possibly could to ensure those animals were pulled out of that environment and given a good home. Because when you're talking about large constrictors, handling them like this is animal abuse. Full stop. Now I'm going to ask you guys to do a couple things for me. First of all, if anybody recognizes this video and knows the person that put it out, I'm not going out and calling anybody out by name right now. I'm not a fan of publicly calling people out, publicly shaming people. I am much more a believer in you leave somebody an out. Okay? If you attack somebody, they're going to attack back. They're going to want to fight. I don't want to fight. I want to make sure that the animals are taken care of. So I'm not going to go in and start personally attacking anybody. What I am going to do is ask you guys, if you know this person, make sure they watch the video. And now, once you're watching it, the person who is having such a hard time handling your reticulated pythons, I encourage you, drop me a message, contact me somehow. I am more than happy to work with you to help you improve your husbandry with your animals. And I will get on, I will do video chats and help you learn to read their behavior, learn how to handle them properly, And I'm going to tell you right now, you've got your hands full, because you've already got a terrible relationship with those animals. Those animals don't trust you. They're afraid of you. They associate you with something bad. They associate you with discomfort. So you've got to give yourself a crash course in really excelling in handling these large snakes. If you're not able or willing to do that, I strongly encourage you to find someone who's a skilled keeper who can help fix what you've broken with those animals. One of those things has got to happen. If you've got any empathy at all for the animals that you've got in your care, one of those things has got to happen. And the reason why it's such a big deal, you've got over 50,000 subscribers on YouTube. You've got an audience. You've got people that watch you, people that, you know, take cues from your behavior. And I guarantee you, somewhere out there, there's somebody who's mistreating their animal in the same fashion because they saw you do it. So please, you know, I see that that video was taken down. That was a smart move, okay? The next step is to make the improvement, to make the change. And I implore you to do that. Now, for another thing that I'd like you guys to do, especially since I've seen this, you know, I'm really on a kick to get my subscriber count up, because I put a lot of effort into expressing how important it is to treat our animals right, and to learn how to live with them and how to help them be happy in captivity, as happy as humanly possible. And if there's somebody out there that's got 50,000 subscribers that's doing something crazy like that, I need to have 250,000 subscribers that are paying attention to the right way to do things. So share this video to any reptile keeper that you know. If you know anybody that's getting into reticulated pythons, show them this so they immediately know this is what you don't do. And I've got 2 handling videos that I'm going to put in the end screen, and I encourage you guys to just binge watch them. You know, I don't know everything, but I have been very fortunate to have been in a position where I was working with 300, 400 adult reticulated pythons. You know, average length was between 14 and 16 feet. They were as big as 22 feet. Okay, that's an invaluable experience that not a lot of people get. And it's one of the reasons why I started this channel, is because I want to be able to share a unique experience and what I learned from that with everybody. Because for me, it's been incredibly rewarding, because everything that I learned prior to that, I then had the opportunity to go with hundreds of snakes and implement it in thousands of different interactions. And it taught me how to better manage my own animals and how to have really awesome relationships with them. And if you're going to have these animals, that relationship is what you need to be shooting for. You know, these if you want to get something to impress somebody, buy a Ferrari. You can park it in your driveway. You can do whatever you want to it. You know, you don't buy big snakes to impress people. And if that's your goal, like I said, buy an inanimate object of some sort. Let them go to a responsible keeper. Let a responsible keeper take them. And you know, have some empathy for these intelligent living beings. So all that being said, guys, now I'm going to take you inside. We're going to get my biggest reticulated python out. I'm going to show you guys how you interact with them, how you get them out, how you get out and let them get the enrichment of being outside and enjoy themselves and enjoy their company, because they're our friends, they're not our property. Really important to remember that, guys. So let's go inside and let's get Tigger out. Okay, so being inside here, I understand the lighting's not all that great, but you'll still be able to see the important part, and that's the snake. Now the reason why I've got it set up like this is because, you know, I've got other videos that pay really close attention to the snake and their movements and things like that, and I'm going to link all of those videos in the end screen here. And I really encourage folks, when this is over with, jump on there, check those videos out, and you'll see what I talk about when I talk about reading their behavior. The main point of this is that keeping large constrictors can be frightening by nature. They're big animals, they're strong, they've got a lot of teeth, and we should exercise caution with them. We should be a little bit on point, so to speak. Don't be afraid of them, but just be alert and be cautious with them. Okay, but that being said, there's a certain way that we handle them that requires us to trust these animals to a certain degree. Do we risk getting bit when we do that? Of course we do. That being said, if we're going to keep these very large, very intelligent animals in captivity, it is incumbent on us to ensure that we're treating them properly. And we can't allow our fear of getting bit, our fear of getting injured, to prevent us from treating these animals with respect. Okay, and just to make this point really crystal clear, if you're so afraid of your animals that you can't handle them properly, then one of two things needs to happen. You either need to rehome that animal, find somebody who is a very skilled keeper, because not only have you probably developed a bad relationship with them, your fear and your apprehension has probably made that snake much more defensive of people, which means he needs a more skilled keeper to work with him and to get him toned back down. Or you really need to invest a lot of serious effort in learning the proper ways to manage them. Those are the only two options. So let me get him outside really quick, and once we get out there and he gets running around, we'll talk some more. As you can see, of course, the enclosure is always locked, and I tend to open the door with the hook most of the time. Some people say not to open it all the way. I'm not worried about him jumping out of the enclosure and chasing me. I've got his basket platform here, and I'm going to move out of the way a little bit. There you go, buddy. Okay. Come on, Dig. Come on, bud. Come on, buddy. Here we go. You good? There you go. Ready? Okay. Hello, my friend. You come see me? Alright guys, so as you can see here, this is a really big, powerful snake. And if he wanted to, he probably could hurt me. Oh, pal. you guys will notice, you know, even being as big and as strong as this snake is, he's still manageable, and I have not had to grab his head once. I thought I would show you guys something here really quick. I moved over here by the camera, and look what he's doing. This snake is coming over. He follows me around the yard like a puppy dog. He really does. People talk about these guys being puppy dog tame. Well, to some degree, they can get pretty close. Oh, I got you, buddy. Now, for all of you guys out there that are trying to wrestle your snakes around, grab them by the neck to keep them from hurting you, that is so not the way to go about this, guys. This right here is what a snake is like when it's comfortable, when it's as close to its natural state as it can be. He's interacting with me. He's not attacking me because he's not afraid of me. He's also not trying to eat me because these animals are really intelligent. They know what food is and what food isn't. He knows I'm not food. I'm not the least bit worried about this snake biting me at all. This particular animal right here, he will, if I walk across the yard just like I showed you a second ago, he'll follow me. You know, we've got a really good relationship. He associates me with being able to come out, being able to explore. He associates me with positive things. And because of that, I'm not worried about getting bit. I'm not worried about him attacking me. I'm not worried about getting constricted. I still don't do stupid things like put him all the way around my neck, because he will try and hang on. And if he does that, then we could have a problem. Oh, get away from the camera, buddy. All right, let me carry him across the yard. Now I want you guys to notice something, okay? I just took him, set him free across the yard. Look what he's doing. See, he sees me. He knows I'm here. He's in the shade, so his eyes work better than if they were in the direct sunlight. Hey, buddy. Oh, he decided to take a long way around, so I'm gonna come lay down in front of him. What's up, buddy? What are you doing, man? See if I can keep him in one spot for a little while. So right now, this animal is You know, once he's out of his enclosure, anybody can manage him. You know, I could bring a novice out here and just let them know, hey, make sure you lift him a couple feet behind his head. Don't ever try and grab him. Don't ever really try and control him. You know, make sure that you don't wrap him around your neck. And I can bring just about anybody out here and manage this animal. Now, I guarantee you, I am 100% sure he trusts me, I trust him, we're good. If I start abusing this animal, he's going to become afraid of me. He's going to associate me with something bad. And every time I come around him, that fight or flight is going to kick in. And they're not afraid to fight. They'll run any chance they get. The whole point of this is that mistreatment is a self-perpetuating cycle that does real damage, okay? This snake right here, like I said, I can let a novice interact with him and he'd be perfectly fine. Now let's say, for instance, you get somebody that gets their first reticulated python and they get it when it's small, they interact with it, they're not too afraid of it. As the snake starts to get bigger, maybe that snake trusts them, maybe the experiences haven't been too bad, but the keeper starts becoming afraid of the animal because it's so big. And because of that, you know, they may not interact with them as much because they're afraid of getting bitten. They may try to restrain and control the animal when they do interact with them because they're afraid of getting bitten. And once you start doing that, you start losing trust with the animal. So you can take a really good relationship, and over time, with a great animal, even this one, if this animal was to start being mistreated, he would become very defensive. And I would turn this real easy animal to work with into an advanced level animal that needs somebody that understands how to read, how to put them at ease, how to handle them, how to avoid getting bit when they handle them and things like that. There's just a whole nother skill level there when you're working with an animal that's afraid, that's defensive, that wants to fight. It takes an entirely different level of keeper, especially one larger one like this. So you can take a good animal and completely spoil them for anybody by being a bad handler. I gotta keep moving because he keeps moving. And that's the arrangement that we've got. I give this animal the absolute most freedom that I can possibly give him and let him stay safe and let me stay safe. With a smart animal like a reticulated python, it's imperative that they don't feel restrained. It's really important that we try to afford these animals the maximum amount of freedom when we're interacting with them. Now I'm trying to keep him over here so that I don't have to continue to chase him. So you can see I'm still not restraining him. I never have my hands wrapped all the way around him. A lot of times I handle him with the back of my hands. You'll notice that if you watch sometimes. Sometimes it's just as easy to do that because you're just giving him a platform and you're kind of guiding him around. It's a lot more difficult with a bigger snake. There's a lot more guiding to do. So I brought him over here, set him down again. All right, buddy. Here, come see me. Huh? Come see me. This is the state that you want to aim your animals to be in. This is the state, if you're going to keep large constrictors, if you want to do it humanely, we can have a lot of discussions about enclosure size and things like that. The main thing is that we make sure that we allow our animals to be as close as possible to their natural state. There is no reason whatsoever to snatch this animal up around the throat to control it. And I just really kind of want to sum this whole conversation up with, you know, this is a state that we should aim to have our animals in. This is a result of this animal trusting me, of me treating it right, of me doing all of the things that I talk about in the other videos, you know, not restraining him, not grabbing him around the throat, you know, not letting my natural fear of animals that can hurt me override my brain. You know, human beings, the thing that has allowed us to survive is our brains. So we should use them, you know. Our brains should be able to override our instincts. And if you're going to keep these animals and you cannot get your brain to override your fear, then you seriously need to find somebody to take those animals, because all you're doing is torturing them. Now you guys need to look into this animal's face. Look into his eyes. Okay? See the way he's coming up to me? So he's relaxed. Long tongue flicks. He's exploring the ground. The way he's looking around. There's somebody home there. There's a being in there. There's a thinking being in that head. And we can negotiate with them.